Macara Shanae. First of all, I want to thank you so much for taking a little bit out of your day to spend some time with me. I hope that you'll really get something from all of the things that I'm going to be sharing on my new blog site. I'm so excited. My new theme, struggle to strength. I'm going to be sharing some stories about how I turned my struggle or struggles into strength. Now, the word struggle and the word strength, they both begin with the letter S. So for me, I had to think about that. The letter S means to start. I had to start somewhere. I had to start thinking about how am I going to get out of this rut that I was in? How am I going to rise above all of the issues and the things that are concerning me? All of the things that were keeping me down, the things that were keeping me from moving forward. I was definitely down, I was out, I was just struggling, just wallowing in my own pity and just feeling like woe is me all of the time. So I had to do something. So think about this. The S starts with you. Just as I had to decide that the S meant I had to start with me. Now, I had an enlightening when I was coming to grips with some things in my life when I finally decided this is not where I want to be. This is not okay for me. I have to progress forward. I can't keep sitting here feeling like everything that I've gone through has now determined who I am, because the reality of it is we can take everything that we've gone through and make them to form who we are, but we can make them form us in a positive way or a negative way. And I was letting my struggles affect me in a negative way. So I had to make a decision to turn my struggles into strength. Some of the reality for me was a few years ago, I was in this great debate, or I guess kind of like an argument with someone when they were really putting me down and giving me a hard time just about things, I don't know, all kinds of little stuff, just nitpicking. I didn't do this right and I didn't do that right and this is why I don't like you. And I was having a real difficult time with that conversation. And then this person just jumped out and said, "So why are you always the victim?" And that just kind of struck a nerve with me. And I had to think about it as I began to be argumentative and say, I'm not always the victim, and I don't want to be looked at as being the victim. Now, we all have those people that we come into contact with that you ask them how they're doing, and they begin to tell you about their back aches and their shoulder aches and how they have no money in their bank account and the car broke down last week and don't know how they're going to get by and the kids are misbehaving and on and on and on. And I came up in a single parent family, or I was raised by my grandparents, all kinds of stuff. And people just hold on to those, what I call the struggles of life, or they hold on to those things in their life and it forms them. And they're the people that they just suck the life out of you when you try to have a conversation with them. You're talking to them and they don't seem to want to get ahead. They don't seem to want to make a change, want to make a step forward. And it's just, oh, you're dragging me down. And always some kind of issue, always having something going on. I mean, we all know people like that, right? Or are you that person? Well, I know that I was that person, but I refused to believe it. I refused to accept it because I was so caught up in all my miseries and the divorce of my parents or growing up the way that I grew up. And we'll get into some of those stories a little bit later, but I was so caught up in those things that had shaped my life in a negative way. And other people were seeing it. And in particularly this one individual that asked me, why was I always the victim? Now, yes, it's true that people do things to you. They hurt your feelings. They tear you down. Everybody's not going to like you. And that was a hard thing for me to grasp because I always wanted to be a likable person. I always strived to be giving and caring, but maybe it was for the wrong reasons. It wasn't because I thought so much of myself, but it was because I was trying to grab some kind of attention or find my self-worth from other people. So, the S that starts with you and starts with me. I had to start making a conscious decision to say positive things when people ask me how was my day, or to not always run into, it was their fault, or it was this person that did this to me and this is why I can't advance, and I didn't get this job promotion because they didn't like me, or, you know, people get into all kinds of reasons and excuses, and I was one of those people. So don't feel bad. If that's you, this blog is definitely for you. because that's where I had to start. I had to start and recognize that there's an issue here. And I need to change my thinking. I need to change my mindset. I need to look at things in a more positive manner. I need to uplift myself. I need to believe in myself and not worry about the things that people have done to me. Because I'm not saying that the things that people do and the circumstances and issues and all the things that you have to go through are not real. Because we all experience things and they are real. It is real when maybe a parent passes away, or you have somebody that steals from you, or your car gets stolen. Those circumstances are real. But do we have to be stuck in them? Do we always have to carry on about them with, woe is me, and I'm this way because, and I'm that way because, and I didn't do this because? We don't have to stay there. So I hope that you will enjoy to go on this journey with me as we go from struggle to strength. And let's start with ourselves.